And so I've had to really learn about, there are times when I am unhappy or things aren't going well, or just like in any other relationship, it's like you just have to be committed. It's like you have to honor the idea that you are committed to this and you're going to see it through thick or thin.
Everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball, Katie Joy. I hope you are having a wonderful day. It is Saturday, May 13th, and I am coming here onto this video because I just need to get some things off my chest, and it has really nothing to do with, it has a lot to do with like all this different noise that's happening, but it's more just like for me to come to my channel and my space to express my thoughts and my feelings about a lot of the stuff that I see that's happening that revolves around me that really has nothing to do with me, but also to just give you guys a sense of like who I am. And most of you do know who I am because you're here on my channel and you watch this content regularly, and to just better help you understand like my philosophy about all the stuff that you're seeing online or the different videos you see about me or what other people think about me. And yeah, let's start. The last couple weeks have been pretty intense for me. That would be actually to put it mildly. I have had the opportunity in the last several weeks to really dive deeply into some deeper issues that are surrounding communities in the Western United States, communities in Wyoming, Montana, Utah, Arizona, Nevada, even in parts of Mexico. And I've had the opportunity to speak with some amazing people and really like understand and learn about them and their hearts and their journeys, and hearing what they went through growing up. And you can hear Frida, she's in the background, and just the bravery it took for them to speak. And when I started this channel, it was 2018 was when the channel actually it came into existence. But I don't think I put my first video on here until like the March of 2019. And the channel grew really quickly. I was pretty surprised, but maybe not, because I didn't come from obscurity. I had been writing and blogging for years. I've been around since like 2013, and I'd done and sort of shifted around a lot of different things. And initially I started doing a lot of advocacy work for children with special needs and parents raising children with special needs. And I had built a significant following from that. And so I think it just was this natural progression of not just like my desire to help other people and to report on different topics and also to do deeper dives into situations, but it was this progression of just my own journey in life that revolved into and evolved into what it is that I cover today. And this wasn't just something that happened by accident. It was based upon my own experiences and what I went through in my own life. And just, I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew the goal of what I was doing. And I've always had the same goal, and that is to help bring awareness, to help people understand the sides of fundamentalism, whether it's on television or not, and how that impacts people. And I wanted to help people's stories be shown. I wanted to help women and anyone trapped in these groups sort of see the other side. And I've tried to do that with as much empathy as possible, without going around and like ignoring the ugly parts that maybe make some of us uncomfortable. And this last couple weeks has been very intense for me because obviously a few weeks ago, Emily came to me and said she wanted to do the interview. And I was like, okay, are you sure you want to do this? And I had been speaking with Emily since February. And so for me, it wasn't like, I didn't ever expect her to come to me to share her story on this channel. I think it goes without saying, but a lot of you see the comments on this channel, and you see that people from the Apostolic United Brethren are in the comments every day. And a lot of those people, they come here because this is a place where they feel like they can share openly without judgment, and that people will believe them, because a lot of times people don't believe them. And so I try to respect all of these people. And it's the same thing with the people that are from the Institute in Basic Life Principles, or Fundamentalist Baptists, or really any faith. Like, there's a lot of people that have come from the Jehovah's Witnesses, because I myself have experience with the Jehovah's Witnesses, and I have a video about I believe I have a video about Jehovah's Witnesses because of my ex-boyfriend from high school. And so I've crafted just this network of people that have grown up and have stories, and that they come here and they feel safe because they know that, you know, people are not going to judge them, and people are going to believe them when they say that they've went through really difficult things with their faith. It's never been a spot for me to tell anyone, like, you're wrong for believing what you believe. I will point out false doctrine. I will point out people using doctrine to hurt other people. But I'm an atheist, but that doesn't make me want to tell you that you shouldn't believe. Everyone has a right to believe what they want. And I've never believed that me telling you that you're wrong about your faith or believing in whatever it is, as long as it's not hurting other people, is my job. With that said, because I don't have faith, some people don't like that. And so they assume that I talk about these things because I want people not to believe. And that's really not true. I think a lot of it comes down to what comes down for me and from my heart is that there's a lot of beautiful aspects of spirituality. There is so much about having a spiritual life and being connected to that side of yourself that is so invigorating and loving, and it provides people a sense of hope and a sense of comfort. And I would never want to take that away from anyone. There's a lot of different ways that people have spirituality, and it doesn't have to be just about God. I mean, there's people that literally find spirituality in nature, or in the water, or whatever it is. Like, there's so many different things in art. There's different ways people connect to that part of them. And I don't want to take that away from anyone. But when things go very dark and wrong and extreme, that's where I start to have a problem. Fundamentally, and it's funny because I'm saying this as I'm not a fundamentalist, but fundamentally I'm a feminist that believes that women don't deserve to have more than men, but that women deserve to be equal to men, meaning that we don't and shouldn't be considered second-class citizens, that women should not be considered property of a man, that a woman should have the equal access and equal rights to education, to jobs, to employment, to fair wages, to maternity leave, to all the different aspects that make us women, that across the globe we see women not gaining access to or being denied rights of. The feminist movement in the United States has been if you look at the history of the world, it's a very small, minute, it's been patriarchal for the majority of the world. And the longest time that this planet's been on, people have been on as humans, it's primarily been patriarchal. And so anytime there's a shift to that, there's going to be a resistance to that. And so a lot of what you see is when people are protesting women wanting to be valued as equal, they see that as a threat to their power and to their structure. To me, what I see is that I just want women to not be in a place where they have to be dependent on men and feel like they can't or don't have choices. And sadly, there are groups in this country that, despite our Constitution that promises us that we all have the right for liberty and the pursuit of happiness and freedom, there are people that are living lives of indentured servitude through indoctrination, control, and cults. And so for me, I just try to help spread light on these very troubling areas that I see, that I get a spot of, that I get to talk, of the people I get to talk to, and help people understand that it's not the way that you maybe see it on TV. Like when I started covering the Duggars, it was never because I was a fan of the Duggars. When I started covering the Browns, it was never because I was a fan of the Browns. I covered the Browns because I'd always been interested in the human rights violations that occur in polygamy. And I never believed that what they were telling us on TV was real, because reality TV is fake. When I covered the Duggars, it was not because I was a fan of the Duggars. It was, again, I saw a group that was very systematically using social media and reality television to push a narrative and promote very extreme beliefs. Christian supremacy and nationalism is a very deep problem to me in the United States, because we have a country that is built on freedom of religion. And I don't want anyone in this country who has a different faith than Christians to feel like we all have to conform to one thing. It's the opposite of what this country has been built on. But yet there's groups that really want to drive us towards that and push agendas and push legislation built upon that, when we're not a nation built on one religion. We're built on we're built on a nation of having freedom of religion and freedom from religion. So that's the mindset I have with this channel. It's never been about getting Christine arrested or hurting people. It's about using public stories and public figures and public situations to discuss wider issues that happen to people in these groups. I have worked so tirelessly on this. I've spent hours reading documents, interviewing people, and getting to know the people involved in this world. Whether it's been the Institute in Basic Life Principles, the IFB, which is the Independent Fundamentalist Baptists, or the various groups with the Mormon fundamentalism, I've immersed myself in a world that I never thought I would be a part of. I've immersed myself with people that I, on the surface, would have nothing in common with, because in many ways, like our politics and our faith are so different. But what I've found is that these people are literally just people, and every single human that's involved in these groups, when they get out, come out with trauma and pain and hurt. And one of the biggest things that I've learned in the last 4 or 5 years of doing this is that every single person that comes out that has that pain and hurt, they end up feeling like there's this huge burden on them, because if they tell their story, people don't believe them, because there's all of this propaganda out there from these different groups that says that they're lying. And I actually can resonate with that, because I grew up Catholic, and it's hard for me to even speak about my own faith, because when I share my story and what I experienced in the Catholic Church and what I experienced in my family as a product of the faith, and the sort of the abuse that we experienced in the family because of it, I get told by other Catholics that I'm lying, or that that's not true, or that doesn't happen to all Catholics. And so I think I can relate to these people, because I didn't grow up in a necessarily like insular, high control cult where I didn't have access to the outside world, but I did grow up in a patriarchal system where if I try to speak about what happened to me or to my family, I'm told that I'm not believed. And so all I'm trying to do for these people is give them a space to say, I believe you, and I want you to share your story. My hope is that one day I can share my own story without feeling fear that people from the church will tell me that I'm wrong, that that's not a belief, that it's only my family that did this, so that I can help you all see why I'm so passionate about what it is that I'm passionate about. But fundamentally, to me, this is about helping expose really dark things that are happening to people out in the world of faith, and people abusing other people in the name of God, which is not okay with me. And I hope any Christian that has love for other people would not be okay with that. And that's why, and any person of any faith should not be okay with that. That's why I feel like everyone here can come from different faiths and understand that we all have the same goal. We don't like people getting hurt in the name of God. So with that said, my opinion and my thoughts about what other people say about me, I've always had this opinion that it never is in my benefit to respond. It never helps this channel for me to say and respond to the haters or to the people that make videos about me, because it never helps the channel. My fans, the subscribers, the members, all of you that come here every day do not come here to watch me fighting with other YouTubers. Additionally, I don't want to be a drama channel. I don't want to build my channel based off of fighting with other people. I don't want to build my channel based on these back and forth disputes. And I don't want to get in fights with people that I don't know and over things that are not real and assumptions and beliefs that people have about me that I'll never change. I learned in the first year of YouTube that goes nowhere, and that there was always going to be people that speak about me. And unfortunately, because I talk about cults, and because I unveil things that are very dark, and I tell people's secrets about these groups that they don't want you to know, I have a lot of haters and troll accounts that follow and go after me because they're from these groups. There are specific people that I have covered that literally have created dozens of stock accounts, and they've even created channels, they've created YouTube pages, they've created Facebook pages, they've created content on Instagram. There's an entire Instagram page that is dedicated to exposing everything I do, and theoretically gets and realistically gets everything wrong about me. And that's just the truth. And they're consistently supporting the people that I'm exposing or I'm reporting on. And so if you go to these channels and you find enjoyment in that, that's fine. I don't find enjoyment in that, and that's fine too. I think a lot of people send me these videos and these comments and they say, oh, this person's talking about you or that person's talking about you. And I just don't want to respond to it, because to me, that's drama and it doesn't help this channel. It has nothing to do with me, because it would be no different than any of the people I cover constantly responding to what I talk about. Do they care what I say about them? Most of the time, no, because they know that they're public figures and that's what they do. And so if they don't care about me and I don't care, and I can talk about the cults that they're in, then that's fine. But there are people within their cults that are going to try to discredit me. And that's what you're seeing in the last few weeks, is because Emily's video and her interview has exposed a lot about the AUB that's never been exposed before. And people are seeing a different side of Sister Wives that they've never seen before because of what she shared. And if you haven't watched her interview, I hope you do. She's going to be back on on the channel in the next few months, maybe a few weeks. She's got so much more she wants to talk about. And so you're seeing this like kick up. You're seeing Facebook groups claim that the information coming out about the AUB is false. Well, of course, they're going to say it's false because they want to protect their groups. Or you'll see fundamentalists say that the doctrine that we're talking about is false or it's not true. When we discuss doctrine on this channel, it's literally coming from Doctrine and Covenants, or it's coming from the Book of Mormon, or it's coming from historical documents from these groups that this is what they believe. And so they can argue and say, this is not what I believe, because they don't want to admit to some of this stuff. Of course, they don't want to admit publicly that they might be a white supremacist, or they might not even think that they are. I mean, that's another facet of this, is if you've been indoctrinated to believe this, you may not know. I was talking to someone from the Brown family, not immediate, but an extended relative, that said they grew up their whole life not even realizing that they were racist, because that's just what they were taught their whole life. So if you grow up that way, you're indoctrinated, you don't know what you don't know. So I try not to take it personally. I know that there are some channels that speak negatively about me because they are fans of the show, or they also have come out of fundamentalism themselves, so they have a different opinion, or they just never liked me, and so they just want to say everything I do is wrong, or they believe conspiracy theories about me, whatever it is, like that's fine. They can say whatever they want. What bothers me and what's harmful to me is when it starts impacting my business and my channel, and it starts getting to a point where I don't want to deal with all of this noise. So all I want to say to my people that watch every day is that I don't like commenting about this. I hope you know that the last thing in the world I ever want to do is make you feel like you have to choose between creators or that you ever need to defend me. I feel like this public space is big enough for everyone. YouTube's a big place and everyone has a space for everything. And I've never felt that like bashing another creator will help this channel grow. I don't know. There's like a current creator that's spending a lot of her time upset with me, and I've never even interacted with her, and I honestly don't know anything about her. So, and I'm not even going to tell you that you shouldn't watch her. Like, I just don't know her, and I've never talked to her, and I don't know why that she would say these things, other than maybe she wants her channel to grow, which is fine. But I would prefer to just put content out that is related to my work and to this goal I have of, you know, talking about fundamentalism and helping expose these cults, instead of focusing on what she says about me or what another creator says. As far as like how I run my business, I try to keep a very tight ship. I don't have a lot of people that I confide in. I don't have an assistant. My business is me and my husband. And then it's really just that. And I am a one-woman show with him. And so we're a one woman and one man show. We're a couple things, you know, like I do most of the work behind here, but he's a huge part of why this channel can run the way it does. And so when you think about what other people are saying about me, don't ever feel like you need to send that information to me. Don't feel like you need to defend me. Don't feel like you need to tell that person that they're wrong. Just, it doesn't help. It's silly. It's all nonsense. And someone in my comments today said, like, don't ever feel like you need to make a statement unless it's affecting your business. I won't say it's affecting my business in that, like, you guys are not, it's affecting my business in that you guys are upset about it. It's affecting my business in that it's a distraction to my goal. And that's all it is. I don't want to focus on this. I don't want to talk about those channels, and I don't want to say their names because that's what they want me to do. They want me to say their names so that we can get into a fight, and I don't want to have a fight with them. I don't want to have a fight with any of them. I hope that they all can have success on this platform. I hope they all can achieve whatever goals that they have. I hope they can all find their niche and their supporters and their viewers. I want to build a community that fosters compassion and empathy, and I want to do that where everyone can have a space to share their stories. And not everyone's going to like me, and that's okay. And not everyone's going to agree with what I do, and that's okay. And if you don't want to watch, that's okay. You know, it's not about me, it's about the content. Now, when it comes to like interviews, and when it came to the interview with Emily, that took months of just getting to know her and getting her to feel comfortable with me and like us developing a rapport. And it was never like she came to me and was like, I want to do an interview on your channel. It was more like we just started talking. And then one day she contacted me after I made a video, and I can't remember what the video was about, but it had sparked her and prompted her to go, you know what, I'm ready. This needs to be known. I can't do this anymore. Like, this needs to stop. And I said, are you sure? Are you sure? And she said, yes. And she's like, I've spoken to the people in my life and they support this and they think it'll be helpful. And so that was her choice. I didn't confront her and say, you should do an interview with me. She came to me. You can't steal things from anyone that isn't theirs to steal. Anyone can go on any platform and speak to anyone. No one owns exclusivity to sources. Otherwise, media outlets would, celebrities would only want to talk to one media outlet. And that's just silly. The sources that I have here that I work with, they trust me just because we have the same goals. Like, I have the same goals with exposing polygamy as like a lot of the advocates do that want to help people get out of polygamy. So it's like this symbiotic relationship where I'm helping them shine light on areas that are troubling to their communities and that are harmful to their communities. It gets exposure to the masses by sharing it with me, and then I can do the story for you guys. And they get the benefit of people learning about it by me sharing it. So it's like they can do their work, I can spread awareness, and the two of us together can put this out there into the world to help people understand the problems that they're facing. And that's what I do. So if it's, I guess the bottom line for me is that I love this channel and I love my viewers and I love all of you guys that watch every day. And I don't want to get stuck in a world where everyone's fighting. I don't like doing that. And so I would just encourage all of you to focus on the things that matter to you and watch what you want to watch. Don't ever feel like you have to defend me. And also, please, like, let's just not share information about other channels. So if you see a video, this would be my only request to you, is if you see a video about me, don't even bring it here. Don't tell me about it. Because you know what? Who cares, right? I don't care what someone I don't know says about me. I don't care what someone that doesn't know my life, doesn't know my motives, and doesn't know what I'm doing on a daily basis says about me. I don't care what other channels say about me. I don't care what other creators on other platforms or other troll accounts say about me. So don't feel like I would want to know what they're saying about me, because I don't. I get a lot of messages like, I just want to show this to you because I feel like if this was me, I would want to know. And I'm just going to tell you that's not who I am, and I don't want to know. I don't want to know what other people think about me that I don't know. I mean, wouldn't it be hypocritical for me to be like upset that everyone says negative things about me when I literally, for a living, speak about other people? It would be so ridiculous for me to cry on my channel like I used to and say, stop talking about me, when I do this for my job. Everyone can say whatever they want about me. They're entitled to have their opinions about me. And that's fine. But I'm not going to share my opinions on these people because honestly, I don't even know them. Like, I don't know enough about these people that talk about me to even have an opinion about them, other than like, I know that they make videos about me. But I don't watch their videos. I don't have troll accounts. I don't hack them. I don't spam them. I don't have time. I'm like literally busy on this channel. So what I would just say again in the future, this space is for all of you to come and to learn about fundamentalism and cults, and to speak about shows that cover fundamentalism and cults, and expose things like TLC that are promoting fundamentalism and cults, and to expand into other topics. I've been very deep into polygamy, and it's not because I'm obsessed with the Browns. It's because I'm obsessed with human rights for people that are trapped in these worlds. And I'm obsessed with helping the people that have been trapped and hurt by these systems. And I don't know if it's no different than like Mormon Stories podcast, spending their entire platform trying to help people learn the truth about Mormon Stories podcast, the Mormon church. Like, are they obsessed? That's what their goal is. Am I obsessed? This is what my goal is. So I guess, yes, that makes me obsessed. It's my job. Long story short, this is a huge place for all of us. I love all of you guys so much. And I just want you to know from my heart to yours, and from me to you, that I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you sharing in comments. I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate all of you that support me, that watch the content, that I appreciate every single one of the people that reach out to me and share their stories. I'm so appreciative of all of the people that have trusted me to help them tell their stories. And I only hope that I'll be able to help tell more stories of more people and help them have their truth known. And then maybe one day I'll be able to share my own truth and my own story. That's the goal. Finally, I just want to wrap this up by saying, if you or someone you know is trapped in a religious fundamentalism or in polygamy, there is help available. If you are trapped in an abusive relationship and you need help, there is help 24 hours a day through the hotline. where you can call and get resources and a safety plan to get out. If you need to flee polygamy and need resources, holding out help is a great place to start. There's so many resources out there. You can find freedom on the other side of this. And no matter what anyone says, you did not deserve any of this, and you are capable of becoming free. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a wonderful Saturday.